classic F1 fashion, we have seen quite a few special liveries throughout the 2025 season, so let's rank them all. If I miss any, I apologize, please let me know in the comments below, but I think I've got them all. Starting off strong with Haas's special livery from the Japanese Grand Prix. I loved this when it was revealed, and I still love it now. This livery is so nice. I absolutely love it. The cherry blossom design looks so beautiful. This one, for me, this is a straight 10 out of 10. They did a wonderful job. Whoever designed this, I love that they did it. It tracks that Haas would do something special in Japan, given their team principal is Japanese. They've got the partnership with Toyota, which is now just strengthened. I love it. 10 out of 10. No notes. Moving on to another livery from the Japanese Grand Prix, the stunning white Red Bull livery that Red Bull brought back from 2021. They were going to use it for the Japanese Grand Prix that year. That didn't go ahead, so they used it in Turkey, and everybody's been wanting them to bring it back since, and they finally did, and oh my god, it looks amazing. The one thing I love most about this is that the red bits on it look to be chrome, and I love a chrome livery. I love chrome on a livery, a helmet. I just love it, and I love it here. This looks so good. I also kind of like that they kept the halo black mostly, and it just kind of fades into the white. I like this. This is another absolutely stunning livery. 10 out of 10. We now head to the Miami Grand Prix, and we're kicking that one off with Sauber's special livery, which looks like someone just threw a green tin of paint all over the car. Maybe that's the aesthetic they were going for, but it is an interesting choice. I mean, it's not the worst livery we saw Sauber run this year. This is one of those ones where I can take it or leave it, you know? It's definitely a creative choice going for the just make it look like paint was thrown over the car. I'd give it a 5 out of 10. I don't love it, don't hate it. It's just kind of there, and it's also a lot of exposed carbon on the car, and I'm not a fan of the exposed carbon thing. But 5 out of 10, honestly, and about the same kind of rating for Ferrari's special livery that they run in Miami, their latest HP edition livery for the Miami Grand Prix. I give that one a 5 out of 10 as well. Don't love it, don't hate it. It's definitely more effort than they've put in from previous Miami special liveries. However, with that being said, the blue kind of clashes a lot with the red. Ordinarily, I don't mind the blue HP logo that much. I mean, it's just a sponsor logo, it's really not that deep. But in this instance, this much of that shade of blue, it kind of just clashes a little bit, you know? 5 out of 10. And while we're still in Miami, a Miami livery that I actually like is the Racing Bulls livery. Racing Bulls were on it with their livery game this year. This one, I love it. I love the bottle, the can tops rather, on the wheel covers. I like the pink car. I'm not a fan of the color pink, but we need a pink car on the grid, an actually fully pink car, not what Alpine does, where it's partially pink. This stands out. I love it. The pink and the white really go together. It's promoting a flavor of Red Bull, yes, but it just works. It just works. This gets a 9 out of 10 for me. I really love it. Just knocked down a little bit the fact that I'm not a massive fan of the color pink, but this still works. To McLaren, they had a couple special liveries this year, one of which was run around about the Monaco Grand Prix. They did a bit of a retro style of livery. I quite like it. I like that they went for that retro style. I'd like to see F1 do that sometime. Just run the Monaco Grand Prix where every team has to have a retro style livery. I think that could be really cool, and it could just bring a little bit more interest to the Monaco Grand Prix where the race is quite dull, but then hey, we have some nice liveries to look at, some nice retro liveries at that. But no, this is nice. It's nice to see a little bit more color on the McLaren than we have had. It's just nice to see that retro kind of style thing that they did. This one for me gets an 8 out of 10. I'm giving it an 8. Heading back to Sauber, and they ran a special livery, the Spanish Grand Prix, this kind of pixelated kind of livery, which I suppose will kind of track that they might do something pixelated gaming kind of thing, because Kick is a streaming platform, and well, yada yada, you get the gist. This one, I'm not so sure about this one. Again, a lot of exposed carbon. I preferred the paint splash, I'm gonna be honest. This one gets a 4 out of 10. I would give it a 3 out of 10, however, the wheel covers saved it. I really like them wheel covers. 3 out of 10. 4 out of 10, sorry, 4. Racing Bulls rocked up to Silverstone with a special livery this year. This drawn art style style livery. I'm not so hot on this one. I'm not a massive fan of it. It's definitely different, and I applaud them for doing that something different. But this one isn't so much for me. I'm gonna be honest. You know, it still looks very much a lot like their standard livery, because it really just kind of is their standard livery with the drawing art style on it. I don't hate it though. I don't completely hate it though, but I don't love it either. I'm giving this one a 6 out of 10 because I prefer it more than the Sauber paint splash and the Ferrari HP, but I don't like it as much as the other ones. Also to Silverstone, McLaren rocked up with a bit of a callback to some of their old liveries in bringing out a chrome livery. I've said already, I love chrome on a livery, and this still applies here. The chrome just works on the McLaren, and I don't know why. It doesn't look as good here with the papaya as it did with the Vodafone red. However, it still looks really nice. This one, I'm giving this one a 7.5 out of 10. It's the papaya that knocks it down for me. If they just did a full-on like callback to the Vodafone McLaren and just like used a red color, I don't know if they could or not, but that would look so much better, but the papaya just knocks it down for me. But I really like the chrome. Onwards to Ferrari special livery at Monza. This one is a beauty. They ran this special livery at Monza. It was, if I remember correctly, it was in celebration of Niki Lauda's first championship, I believe it was, 50 years ago. And I love this. This is how you do a special livery. This is how you do a callback livery. This is amazing. It's nice to see Ferrari doing that callback to mark 50 years since Lauda's first championship win with the team. Niki Lauda, a man who was very much loved in the world of Formula 1. Rest in peace, Niki. And I love that Ferrari did this. I absolutely love it. It looks amazing. I'm giving this... Honestly, this one might be another 10 out of 10. In fact, it is another 10 out of 10. I absolutely love it. For the United States Grand Prix, the home race for the Haas Formula 1 team, they, as always, rocked up with a special livery. I really like this. It's not my favorite US Grand Prix livery Haas have done, but this is still really, really nice. I always like the Haas special liveries for the US races. They just... I don't know why. The stars and stripes, it just kind of works on the car, I guess. And for that, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I really love it. But it's still the thing with quite a bit of exposed like black carbon. I don't like big lumps of exposed black carbon on cars, and there's that with the standard Haas livery anyway. But I like this. I do like this. It's just the exposed carbon thing. Not my favorite Haas US Grand Prix livery, but it's really nice. Meanwhile, down at Racing Bulls, they had another special livery for the US Grand Prix. They did this kind of retro cowboy looking thing. I'd almost not retro cowboy, camouflage. That's the word I was looking for. Camouflage cowboy thing, and the cowboy thing, I'm kind of just old cowboy, old western, taking that from the way the style of the number. I quite like it. I like that they did it on the wheel covers. It's one thing I liked about these cars is the wheel covers, and then the teams is getting a bit creative with them, you know, just putting designs on them. I like it. Not my favorite V-Carb special livery that they've done this year. I don't know. I like it, but I don't love it. You know, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10 because it's the way that it kind of, the white cuts in with it on the side view. I'm not so hot on that. It looks a little bit clunky, but other than that, it's nice. Meanwhile, Aston Martin had a bit of a small special livery thing for Colta as well. Not massive. I swear that number is different to how they normally do it, or maybe that's how they've had it all season, and I just haven't been paying too much attention to how the numbers are on the Aston Martin cars. But I mean, this one is not really that much different than their standard livery, but I do like that on the side pod where it says Aramco, the kind of way it just kind of nicely, it doesn't fade from the green into the black, but you know, it kind of fades. It kind of pixelates, triangulates, if that phrasing makes any sense whatsoever. Not mad at it, don't love it, don't hate it. It's kind of just in the middle for me, 5 out of 10. And now we get to the reason why this video is out on Tuesday instead of Monday, because at the beginning of the video when I said I think I have them all, I in fact did not have them all. I forgot about this that McLaren ran at the United States Grand Prix, and also Mexico, I think they ran it there as well. They ran this kind of a similar kind of line of thought to their chrome livery, but with white instead of chrome, and the white doesn't go all the way down the side. They've left that black bit there on the bottom of the side pod. It would have been nice if they'd covered that as well. But with that being said, I do kind of prefer this a little bit more than the chrome livery. I think the white works better with the papaya than what the chrome does. And so for that, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. It could have been higher if they'd sent the white like all the way down what's normally black, if they'd covered that black bit there where it says OKX, but they didn't. That's still black carbon, so 8 out of 10. This one though is lovely. I like the Williams retro livery that they did for Austin. And that kind, again, another retro callback. Like, I don't know if it was coordinated between McLaren, Ferrari, and Williams, the three oldest teams in this sport, most longest running teams in the sport, that they would all do a retro livery at some point, but I love that they did. I love that they all did it, and they did it at different times. McLaren technically McLaren did it twice with the McLaren retro, and then the callback to the chrome at Silverstone. Ferrari did a retro with at Monza with the callback to the Niki Lauda Ferraris of the mid 1970s, and then Williams here with the callback to really the early 2000s here. It kind of reminds me of. I like this. I really like this. This one's for me getting a 9 out of 10. I'm not giving it a 10 purely because of blue. I'm not certain shades of blue I'm not entirely so hot on. These are one of them, not as hot on it, but 9 out of 10. I absolutely love this. I like the freaking wheel covers as well. Some of the wheel covers that we've had on these cars have been absolutely amazing. Now, 9 out of 10. Moving on to Alpine. They did this kind of miniature special livery thing. I don't really know how to describe it. It kind of just looks like a bit of a difference for a sponsor, really. A bit of yellow there, and I swear those wheel covers are different to how they normally have them. I don't know. I'm gonna give this one a 4. The yellow is kind of just a little bit too bold, if you know what I mean. It kind of just sticks out a little bit like a sore thumb. I don't know, I'm not a massive fan. I like the Williams Gulf livery though. The Williams Gulf livery was really nice. It was nice when McLaren did it in 2021. It's lovely here again as well. This is another 9 out of 10 for me. It's the same ranking as the Williams retro livery. The Gulf livery, really, really nice. Looks amazing. Honestly, it would be really nice to see Williams just run a Gulf livery for the whole season. That would be quite nice, honestly. I would not be mad at it. Now, 9 out of 10, love it. Now we move to Las Vegas special liveries, because of freaking course Las Vegas had special liveries. Starting off with Sauber, they had a checkered flag draped over their car. Not a massive fan, I'm gonna be honest. It kind of just looks a little bit like random, if you know what I mean. Honestly, I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. Again, the things I've mentioned with the other Sauber special liveries, the big exposure of carbon fiber at the back, not a fan. I wasn't a fan of that on the standard Sauber livery anyway. Still not a fan of it here on this livery. I remember when these Vegas special liveries came out, I did a short where I gave the liveries rankings for Vegas. I can't remember what I gave it there, but whatever I gave it, I'm giving it a 3 out of 10 now. I don't know, a few weeks later, time to just mull it over, have a look at it. Not a fan. This Williams car that they did, I'm pretty sure I remember giving this like an 8 out of 10 or something. I do really like it. I'm not a fan that it's for AI. Not all AI is bad, but I'm not a massive fan of all AI. AI aside, I like the incognito mode. I like the all black. I like it. I'm knocking it down to a 7 out of 10, I think. I still like it, but not maybe as much. I like the kind of differentiation on the kind of the colors heading down the nose, but I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. It's also that one random bit of blue there at the bottom where it says Komatsu, but that just seems like a bit random. Why couldn't they just have it all black? But whatever, maybe they had to have that blue there for sponsorship reasons, I don't know, but it's 7 out of 10. Alpine had something slightly different in the last few races, or at least in Vegas. Yes, this is different from their standard livery. There's more pink on the side. It's more 2022 Alpine than 2025 Alpine. I actually quite like this. Honestly, it looks better than the standard livery. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. And that's half because of the wheel covers. To Racing Bulls in their final special livery of the year, they did this kind of like holographic reflection kind of thing. I'm not mad at it. I quite like this. I'm giving this one an 8.5 out of 10. The thing that's knocking it down for me is there on the side cover where it says Honda. The way the white is just kind of, it just cuts with the white. I'm not a massive fan of that. Why they couldn't have just done the holographic way kind of all around there, I don't know, but I don't know. 8 out of 10. And to our final one, which is McLaren's special livery from Abu Dhabi. They had something a little bit different. They had a bit of a design there on a couple of places on the side there, on the side of the floor. It's not a massive difference. It adds a little bit more color to it. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Not mad at it. You know, it's not that big of a difference from their standard livery. livery, but it's a nice change, puts a little bit more color, gets a little bit of blue in there, kind of differentiates it out from the standard carbon and papaya. God, I hope McLaren have more paint on that car next year. Not mad at it. 7 out of 10. There's my rankings though of all the liveries. My 3 favorites has to be the 2 special liveries from Japan for Red Bull and for Haas, and then Ferrari's Monza livery. I absolutely love those 3. I gave them all 10 out of 10. Please don't ask me to put them in an order because I don't think I could. They're all equally amazing. I can't put them in an order. I can't. They're all as good as each other. How would you rank the special liveries we saw throughout the 2025 season? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.